Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to the Knowledge of the Holy. Hope you're well, and I hope you've had a good week so far. I pray you continue to have a good week. So we're going to do a new series now. We're going to look at David, King David, and we're going to look at Paul, or formerly known as Saul of Tarsus. So what we're going to look at with these two men is the two crimes that they had both committed. So David was adultery and assistant to murder, or was the accomplice of a murder, you could say. And so was Paul as well. Paul also was sort of accomplice to murder. He never really persecuted the Christians himself. He caught them and then took them to the civil authority, and they then persecuted them and killed them. So they were both sort of accomplices to murder, but David was an adulterer as well. Now the reason why I'm mentioning that is, look, I'm not trying to shed any bad light on them, but what I'm trying to say that is some people think that they've gone too far. I've committed the worst sin. I've committed so many sins. I don't think God will save me. So I thought we'll look at these two men and see how God saved these two men and how they repented, bitterly for their sins, and how they really understood the power of God, and they really understood what God had for them in their lives, that they completely repented. So we're going to start off with David, and in David we're going to be looking at 2 Samuel chapter 11 and 2 Samuel chapter 12. So that has both the aspects. So the first session, I'm not going to go through the whole thing in one go because it's probably going to have 10 shorts. I'm trying to keep this to maybe 2 or 3. I'm always having 5-6 shorts, so I'm trying to keep them as small as possible. So we're going to first look at David's sort of adultery with Bathsheba. We're then going to look at how he tries to conceal it. So today we're going to look at the adultery, and then we're going to look at how he tries to conceal the act. So again, brothers and sisters, I just want to point out, that even in my life as well, been through a lot of things where I thought I was past the point of redemption. But God always gives us opportunities to come back. Now, unless we completely grieve the Spirit and we completely say, you know what, Lord, I don't want to be saved, leave me alone, then God departs from you completely. He will withdraw His Spirit from you, and He will say, cool, no problem, do what you want. And that's why in Revelations it says, pick, whether you want to be cold or whether you want to be hot. Don't be lukewarm. So pick where you want to stand, with God or without God. If you're not with God, you're against God. And it's the same we also read in Joshua 26, when he says, choose this day whom you will serve, whether you're going to serve God or whether you're going to serve Mammon. Now, Mammon is the world. Mammon is the gods of this world, so that's money, idolatry, whatever. So choose who you will serve. And in these two stories we see that both these men decide to choose God.